Thank you for making time to join us. Another edition of News 360 on TV3, also live on DSTV channel 279. I am Grace Hamwa Ajiman.
Hello, good evening to you. I am Noble Crosby-Annan, and these are the headlines of the bulletin this evening.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
EcoBank,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
This evening, delegates of the opposition New Patriotic Party elect regional executives. Will bring you updates.
Safety concerns raised as KFC 15 cities promo descends into chaos as long queues and traffic hits outlets nationwide.
Also tonight, absence of adequate street lighting is once again raising safety concerns on major roads in the capital following Thursday's accident on the Achimota-Ofanko Highway.
On the foreign front tonight, UK Prime Minister describes the death of former Cambridge professor Jason Ade as a tragedy on so many levels, calling for a moment of reflection.
Thank you so much for joining us also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. We're live on DSTV channel 279. Let's settle for the details of the stories now.
Right. Let's begin from the quarters of the opposition NPP because the party has elected regional executives across the country as part of the party's preparations ahead of the 2028 general elections. In the Greater Accra region, Dr. Bernard Okoboy won the chairmanship against Alfred Boy. My colleague Joseph Armstrong Gold Alogbe is joining us for more on this. Armstrong, if you can hear me, talk to us how it has been so far.
Yeah, so very well. The Greater Accra election here for the NPP just ended with the Honorable Okoboy being declared winner for the election. So you see him now, Honorable, we are live on air now. Let's have this conversation. Honorable, so you've just been declared winner of the Greater Accra election. What do you bring on board?
What do I want?
What do you bring on board?
Oh, a lot of service, a lot of humility, a lot of energy, and a lot of strategy. We are going to unify our ranks. We are going to get closer to the Ghanaian people and be able to more or less quantify their expectations so that we can give them the kind of solutions that will bring hope. We have a duty to make Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia president in December 2028 so that he will lead the agenda to create jobs for the youth. We were promised 133, and I think every youth here admits that the 133 has not worked. In fact, it's the biggest 419 in town. So we want to bring real hope to the youth, not the false hope that we were promised in 2024. And I believe that if we unify our ranks and we apply energy, the Ghanaian people would bring us back so that we come and provide real hope for them.
The Greater Accra region, the last general election, the NPP did not do so much well, and it means that there's a lot of work for you to do. What are you going to do to ensure that you win more power, more seats for the NPP in the Greater Accra region?
In 2016, John Mahama lost the election by close to 1 million votes. But in 8 years' time, they brought him back. The fact that you lose an election doesn't mean that you can't come back. And so we are working hard so that in 4 years, in the next 2 years, as in 2028 December, the Ghanaian public would get the confidence back in the New Patriotic Party. Remember that the NDC was voted into office based on their promises. And most of the promises have not been fulfilled. What it means is that the Ghanaian people are still in expectation. They are in an expectant mood. We are going to satisfy those expectations.
You are confident of winning the next general election.
That's why we are here. That's why we are going to work hard. That's what's going to happen. We are winning the
final words.
I want to thank all constituency executives. I want to thank every party member who came here. They promised they were going to vote massively for Dr. Koboy, and they have delivered just that. I can only be grateful and I can only be excited with them. Together, we are going to restore Accra to his glory. I thank you very much.
That is the newly elected chairman of the NPP and the Greater Accra region speaking to us there about what he's going to do to ensure that the NPP wins back power, particularly here in the Greater Accra region. Well, the election here, I must say, was a tough one, where also Parker also retained the seat as the General Secretary for the NPP here in the Greater Accra region, and some you can see some new face taking over the mantle here in the Greater Accra region. And for all of them, they have just one message for the NDC. In the last general election, they did not perform so much in the Greater Accra region. In the next general election, they have promised that the NDC should stand well, because they are going to do everything possible to unite and make sure they snatch more seats within the Greater Accra region. Well, we are going to keep our eye on how these unfold.
Right, so that was my colleague Joseph Amshon-Gold Alagbe updating us on how the NPP Regional Executive selection here in the Greater Accra has been. Dr. Bernard Okoboy is taking over from Divine Agohum. Crosby, you're taking us to the Eastern region?
Exactly, Grace. To the Eastern region now, because Chairman Jeffrey Konadu Addo has retained his chairmanship, securing another term to lead the party in the region. He has called on party faithful to close ranks, unite and work together towards victory in the 2028 general elections. Meanwhile, the women's organizer, treasurer, deputy secretary and youth organizer positions have seen new faces, signaling a shake-up in the regional leadership.
Say thank you to all our constituency executives, TESCON, all the Council of Elders, Council of Patrons, and all others who came in here to vote. I want to express our sincere gratitude to all of them for having elected us to lead the New Patriotic Party in the next 4 years in the Eastern region. This election and this victory, to me, is a victory of the New Patriotic Party. The first point of call, our profound agenda now is to find a way to unite our party together, to bring everybody on board, to prepare our party for victory in 2028. That is the task ahead of us. I know it's going to be an arduous task, but yes, we are prepared to go on and grab the wheels and get the job done. Bring the party people together.
Well, let's touch base with our correspondent Yvonne Nikwe for some update on how the exercise turned out in the news. Good evening to you. There's a clear winner. The chairman position has been retained. But talk to us about the new faces and how eager they are to work with this chairman to secure victory for the party in the 2028 elections.
Well, Crosby, the entire process was peaceful amidst quite all of the tensions and energy that surrounds elections. We saw all of them play here, but clearly the final results means that the delegates or the constituents which converge here at Samancaster says that the old executive, quite largely of them, the chairman, the secretary, the first vice, second vice, should maintain their position and continue with the work of the party. But that position of the women's organizer was seeing quite a fairly new candidate beat the incumbent and then a returning. We're seeing the deputy secretary also lose his position. So quite some fresh legs coming in to add up to the old executive to ensure that the NPP does its work in the Eastern region. But it's been quite a tense election with all of the people attaching themselves to various camps as they hoped that their candidates win. But at last, Jeff Konadu Addo had the nod with the other executives. One thing they should look forward is exactly how the party intends to unite the front, because we do know that per the grounds observation, there seems to be quite a number of comes within them, that of course may not be healthy moving forward for them per the result they had in the 2024 elections and what would be ahead of them in the 2028 elections.
Yvonne, thank you for the reporting. Yvonne Nikwe is our Eastern Regional Correspondent, updating us on how the elections happened in the Eastern region. To some other regions now. Right,
and elsewhere in the Ashanti region, Chairman Odenehu Kweku Apia, popularly known as Koka, has been elected the new Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party after his second attempt at the position. His victory has been followed by calls for unity, with party members urging the new leadership to bring all factions together and rebuild the party ahead of the 2028 elections.
Odenehu Kweku Apia has been elected as the chairman of the New Patriotic Party.
It was a second attempt, and this time, Chairman Odenehu Kweku Apia has succeeded. Koka is now the Ashanti Regional NPP chairman after emerging victorious in the regional executive elections.
Chairman, enipa mienu na gina ye yenua Odenehu Kweku Apia. Onya emanimu 658. Yenua Henry Kwabena Kokofu onya 269 with 658.
Abatono ya tuawie bibia ni hobiem. I was here to hear day ebomu. Eti mu me nya day yan to hear day ebomu. Say ke humomu a abusiafo to me no yes abaka. 2028. Yes, and then you may.
But beyond the celebrations, party members say the bigger task begins now. The new regional chairman is expected to unite the various factions within the party, strengthen the party structures across the region, and harness the experience of all contestants to prepare the NPP for the 2028 general elections.
I want to see a well-vitalized base. So as a result of that, I hope that all delegates will realize that there's the need to have a good blend of executives where everybody will go and make sure that you mobilize every base to give us a well-vitalized Ashanti region. That is what my expectation.
At the end of the day, the victor is the party. Individuals who avail themselves and became victorious have to be magnanimous. They have to reach out to those who lose and pick up their brains, their ideas, so that they can bring what their vision is on board for the service of our party. Those who lose, at the end of the day, understand that in election, one person wins. But at the end, is the whole party that wins. So good luck next time, even if it doesn't go well for you.
There is no winner or loser here today. All the 34 aspirants across all the 11 positions are all winners. The most important thing for us is to pull ourselves together in one voice, one unity, and make sure that we'll be able to wrestle power from the NDC. Anybody who wins today has won for the party, and it's incumbent on all of us such that we'll then be able to pull through and make sure that in 2020 to wrestle power.
The new NPP regional leadership is expected to move quickly to bridge internal differences, strengthen grassroots mobilization, and position the region for the party's 2028 comeback campaign. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Ashanti region.
Well, neighbors of the Ashanti region, the Bubune region now, and delegates of the NPP in the Bubune region have retained the incumbent regional chairman, Kwame Bafo-Abronye, in the party's regional delegate elections. A total of 281 delegates were expected to participate in the election, with Abronye securing 201 votes to retain his position as the party's regional chairman.
2028, measure money number. So 2028, the non-chairman himself may wonders. Okay, now we're going ready. The Bay regional youth organizer, the catcher almost say a Bay wonders. I will have. At Timothy, I see you can tell you, and I really Bono Nana. No, a general secretary. Yeah, we need 26 from ayi kɔɔso ekosi atemu yɛre ne 20 seats eti ne chart no mu ne yɛwɔ na nka kyerɛ wɔn mo sɛ wonders yɛyɛ 2016 chart na yɛbɛyɛ saa wonders ne 2028
And now to the Upper East region, where the newly elected NPP Regional Chairman Elvis Awonekai Figo Atia has vowed to make the region a stronghold of the NPP through unity and a renewed focus on the party's grassroots. The immediate past regional secretary says strong and committed leadership will be key to mobilizing the party's grassroots base and rebuilding the NPP's fortunes in the region.
We've been doing this for quite long. I've been around for 24 years, through the polling stations to the region. This election wasn't different. I expected more, but you know, the delegates have done well. They say I have 177 out of 302. That's the margin. The next thing is to unite the party. Nothing than unity. I agree with him perfectly. We have the strategies, we have the experience, we are fearless, we are accessible, and I think in the...
And as you are aware, delegates of the NPP across the country have voted to elect regional executives. Let's see on our screens now who these people are and what they are bringing on board. The first you see on your screen right now is that of the Ashanti region. It's a new phase in the Ashanti region after failing on a number of occasions. It now has one, and he is the chairman of the Ashanti region NPP, Odenoho Kwekuapia, also known as Koka. Apart from him, there's also Kwame Bafo Abronye, NPP Bono Regional Chairman. He has retained his seat as chairman of the NPP in the Bono region. We also have Alhaji Hussein Nuruddin as the Northeast Regional Chairman-elect of the NPP, who will lead the charge of the party in the Northeast region in an attempt to beat the NDC in the 2028 elections. Makafi Kofi Wanya is the NPP Voter Regional Chairman-elect as we speak, also with the same charge to unify the party and then win the party seat in the voter region. We also have Ignatius Akwesi Afrifa as the Western Regional Chairman-elect of the NPP, the same charge. Focused, dedicated man who wants to lead the charge of the party to secure seats for the NPP in the parliamentary elections, as well as appreciate the vote of the party in the presidential election. Elvis Figo Awonekai is the Upper East Regional Chairman-elect, also poised to ensure that the party in the Upper East region remains competitive and then beats the NDC in subsequent elections. Robert Safo Mensah is the NPP Afro Regional Chairman-elect, also dedicated to the cause of the NPP, will preach unity and is looking at unifying the ranks of the party to win power. Mohammed Batima Adam is the NPP Northern Regional Chairman-elect as we speak. He also won the elections that happened today. A few other names. Alhaji Idrisu Suleimana is a Savannah Regional Chairman-elect. He beat Dr. Clifford Brimer, the former MD of Ghana Water Limited. Alhaji Idrisu Suleimana is now the Regional Chairman-elect of the NPP. Jeff Konedu represents the Eastern region. He's leading the charge of the party in the Eastern region, leading all the other regional executives for the Eastern region with one goal: ensure that the NPP comes back into power in the 2024 elections. Now, what you see on the screen right now is about this. NPP's regional contribution to Dr. Baumia's 2024 vote. The NPP's rebuilding effort after the 2024 elections, it begins with a clear picture of where its votes came from. Let's start with the Ashanti region. It remained the party's electoral engine. It's the World Bank of the party. The region contributed 29.4% of Dr. Baumia's entire national vote. So nearly 3 out of every 10 votes he received came from the region. And parliamentary results reflected that strength, with the NPP winning 39 of Ashanti's 47 constituencies. The Greater Accra region is next, and it was the second largest contributor, accounting for 14.6% of Dr. Baumia's vote. But the parliamentary picture was far less encouraging, and that is why the Greater Accra region is now very important for the NPP. Hopefully, with Dr. Okoboy leading the party in the region, the party will be able to do well. The NPP won only 6 of the region's 34 constituencies, demonstrating the scale of the party's loss in the capital. The Eastern region contributed another 10.6% and delivered 24 of its 33 parliamentary seats to the NPP. Together, the Ashanti, Greater Accra, and Eastern supplied 54.6% of Baumia's presidential vote and 69 of the party's 88 parliamentary seats. Very important regions for the party. The central and northern regions, they contributed 8.2% and then 8% respectively. This means that the 5 leading regions produce more than 70% of all votes secured by Dr. Bawumia, and you can see that on the screen right now. But the national picture exposes a major weakness. 10 regions each contributed less than 6% of its votes. In the Upper East, Upper West and Volta regions, the NPP failed to win a single parliamentary constituency. Savannah and Volta also recorded the smallest contributions to Dr. Bawumia's national vote at 1.2% each. So as the NPP elects new regional executives and prepares for 2028, the task is twofold. It must ensure that it protects and revives its major vote-producing regions, the Ashanti, Greater Accra, the Eastern, the Central region, if you like. It should also be careful to expand its appeal in areas where both its presidential contribution and parliamentary presence remain weak in the other regions, from Volta, Savannah, Oti, and the rest. So these figures explain why the regional elections are important. A further decline in Ashanti, Eastern, or Greater Accra could be extremely costly for the party. But the NPP's path back to power cannot depend on its traditional strongholds alone. It should look at, expanding beyond its strongholds. And this document we have sourced from the EC, put together by the research desk. That's it for the NPP. As always, we are your election command center. Whatever happens in politics, trust us to update you.
Right, away from the NPP elections, long queues, heavy traffic and chaotic scenes erupted at several KFC outlets nationwide as a 15-city promotion drew massive crowds. The offer quickly descended into disorder at some branches, raising safety concerns.
Some patrons arrived as early as 3 a.m. determined to get their share of the food package, while some left with smiles and large orders. Others were met with frustration as the crowd swelled. Videos from Accra, Kumasi, KNUST, and Takrady flooded social media, captured scenes of pushing, shoving, and physical confrontations. At some outlets, police intervention helped restore order, but the chaos left a trail of damage, with reports of broken doors, damaged railings, and destroyed equipment. For many patrons, the unprecedented turnout has also raised serious concerns about safety and crowd control.
People are too many. I think people was here, they even break the glass of the gate. So that's why they make a line from here to there. I'm not getting and I came to stand there. Anyone you buy 15 cents. And pizza is 29 cents. Anyone you buy depends on the price the amount that you buy. But all is 15 cents. So anyone like
I heard that there is some promo about the pizza and all those things. And as I came to his truly, they are doing the promo. I came here about 30 minutes time ago, but the people who are here, they are many. But when I said I'll join the queue, so it's not really that to reach my thing. That's why I'm standing beside the car over here.
Right, let's bring in Dr. Nanaya Akwada. He's Chief of Party and Executive Director, Bureau of Public Safety. Doc, thank you for your time, as always, on the bulletin. From a public safety perspective, what went wrong at the KFC outlet that led to these chaotic scenes?
Well, let me say good evening to your viewers, and happy to have you and happy to be here. I think that we need to dissect the issue from multiple sources or from multiple points of view than just trying to pin this on a single causal factor. Okay. One would want to ask from a clear marketing and public safety standpoint, what were the considerations that went into evaluating the several outlets of KFC, their capacity to handle the the anticipated crowd or patronage of their promotion. Of course, with current economic conditions, if a big brand like KFC, puts out a promotion like this, it is definitely going to attract huge crowds. Now, did the company itself take time to evaluate, the crowds that were coming? Did they contemplate, the capacity of the various outlets? And did they involve the police for crowd control or crowd management? Those are the things we want to look at first before we attempt to, as it were, narrow it down to one single causal, factor.
And so if you look at the turnout and how all of this is happening, who now bears responsibility when a promotion creates safety risk like this?
Well, obviously, you want to share this responsibility with the brand itself and the public, right? The brand puts out a promo that, look, I'm giving this offer for X amount. The public does not give the public the right to gang up there and be pushing and pulling and fighting and destroying properties, right? So you would want to share the blame with both the public and the organization. That's why I'm saying that we need to look at the design of this promotion. How did they plan it out? Did it go according to plan? Did they envisage, crowds, this number of crowd, coming to the various outlets? Do they even evaluate the capacity of the outlets to meet the public demand? And if all of these were not done, then we want to get them round the round table and have some conversation. As to the public, it's difficult to say you want to control individuals, but if I go there, the fact that I want to buy something for 15 cedis and someone is in my way does not give me the right to push and pull people, fight and destroy properties. So definitely, if I were the local police chief, I would be reviewing footages and be picking people up while, engaging with the brand management itself.
Nana, what should be the lessons both the public as well as businesses should be learning from what is happening today?
I think it's planning, right? Public safety, brand protection is all about planning. And if we put a lot of work into promotions, such as these ones, we can change the narrative, right? KFC had the option to plan this across several, days. Could be weeks. They have the option to deploy such promos via vouchers and stuff like that, regulated so that people would come to their outlets, in a much more regulated form. They had, in this era where everybody has a phone, they had several means of, rolling out this promotion. And probably it did not occur to their teams, their marketing team to do it. I think it's a lesson for all big brands when they are doing promotions with the Christmas, Thanksgiving around the corner and Christmas around the corner. I think that this should be a lesson for major brands planning promotions and several discount offers for the public.
Okay, Nana, thank you for talking to us. Nanaya Wakwada, Dr. Nanaya Wakwada is Chief of Party, the Bureau of Public Safety.
And still on safety, the absence of adequate street lighting is once again raising safety concerns on major roads in the capital following Thursday's accident on the Achimota-Ofankor Highway. Now, although the Accra-Tema Beach Road is undergoing major rehabilitation, portions of the stretch remain dark at night, raising questions about how road users can be kept safe until the project is completed. Samuel Adams reports.
It is after sunset, but sections of the Accra-Tema Beach Road remain busy. Vehicles move steadily along the stretch as commuters make their way home. Trotros stop to drop off passengers, while others continue their journey into adjoining communities. But beyond the headlights of passing vehicles, much of the road is poorly illuminated. As Sibi sells in the La Enclave, she recalls a robbery incident that occurred last week, which nearly put herself and her toddler in danger.
Street light here sometimes boys say be the motor nam. Now we say no matter. No matter bag, no nema.
The absence of the street lights really worries us who sell around here. Sometimes armed robbers come here, and just last week, one tried to snatch my bag. I called out for help, but no one came to my rescue.
For many commuters like Asibi who use that road, it is no news. They say the situation becomes particularly worrying during peak evening hours.
I pick car here most of the time, so I would say that it's really worrying. Recently, we had a motor accident here. An old man got hit by a motorbike when he was crossing the road, and I learned later that he died.
Thieves around attacks us when there is no light, and sometimes when you are here alone and with no man or anybody to stand by you, those bad boys around attack us, so it affects us badly.
You can see right now here it's too dark. When even we close around 7:30 to 8 here, we are here to board a car to go to our village place where we came from. It's really, really bad.
Drivers say the darkness is more than an inconvenience. According to them, it affects how they see and respond to what is happening on the road.
Light in fault. And the street light I just say sometimes we use car be light.
When in the middle of the journey and our lights goes off, we are left with no other option than to use that of the cars. When the flashes become plenty, we navigate with only experience. As drivers, we have to be extremely careful when driving, so that we do not knock anyone down on the road.
It's very bad because for some of us it poses the danger of your phones being easily stolen, especially if you are by the window seat like me and you are using your phone, like it can easily be snatched, and this street is noted for that. So with the absence of light, it increases that tendency of you having that theft.
The Accra-Tema Beach Road is an important coastal corridor linking communities from Accra towards Tema. The wider Beach Road project spans about 26.6 kilometers, with the Nungwa to Tema Community 3 section covering about 10.6 kilometers. Along the corridor are residential communities, schools, businesses, hotels, health facilities and other major institutions. Some residents and road users acknowledge that the rehabilitation works may have contributed to the current lighting situation. They, however, maintain that public safety remains paramount.
The reason why the street lights have not been worked on is simply because the roads have not yet been completed. So if the roads are completed, I hope the government will quickly take steps to complete the street lights as well.
For motorists using the Accra-Tema Beach Road at night, navigating this stretch can be a daunting experience. Several street lights are either not functioning or remain switched off, leaving portion of the road poorly illuminated. While some have linked the situation to delays in completion of the road, they are calling for urgent action to complete the project and ensure adequate street lighting is incorporated. Until then, motorists and residents continue to navigate this busy corridor in darkness, a situation they fear could have serious consequences if left unaddressed. Samuel Yeboah Adams, TV3 News, Accra.
Chancellor of the Gold Coast University, Bishop Gideon Titiofe, has urged newly graduated postgraduate students of the university to make ethics, integrity, and diligence the foundation of their professional lives. He was speaking at the university's graduation ceremony in Accra, where more than 300 postgraduate students were awarded degrees after completing their programs.
Friends and loved ones gathered at the Gold Coast University auditorium as more than 300 postgraduate students celebrated a significant milestone in their academic and professional journeys. For many of the graduates, the ceremony marks the beginning of a new chapter as they take their advanced knowledge and skills into the workplace and wider society. Addressing the graduates, Chancellor of Gold Coast University, Bishop Gideon Titiofe, charged them to look beyond the certificates they have earned and let character guide how they apply their knowledge.
We live in a world where being an ethical leader is what many organizations need. And being a Christian institution, we think that be very ethical in the pursuit of your dreams. I think that you can do the right things to achieve right results. It's also the first graduation we are having since we were approved to run our PhD in business administration. We are offering flexible pathways for very busy leaders to be able to achieve their educational dreams.
Member of the university's governing council and keynote speaker at the ceremony, Professor P.K. Richardson, also highlighted what he described as the institution's distinctive strength.
You can be visible, people can know that you exist, and yet, you are not useful to them. So we want a university where we are not only visible, but we are relevant. People will actually say, if I want a degree, if I want an MBA, if I want to get educated, this is the place to go. That is what we want to establish.
Isaac Mensah is the valedictorian.
Having gone through a lot of schools in Ghana, I can say that UGC is the best. The subjects are not bunched up. And then in terms of affordability, you are given 3 options. So at least you have that flexibility.
Gold Coast University is a Christian university college which was established in 2004. The 2-decade-old university has graduated thousands of students across many areas of study since its inception.
Let's look at how the weather will be for the next 24 hours.
Weather News segment is brought to you by Syntex Tank.
Speaking at a capacity building workshop, Executive Secretary Humphrey Mate Kofi warned that failure to account for funds and publish beneficiary lists could fuel suspicions of diverting disability resources to unqualified individuals.
The workshop brought together representatives from 8 regions across the country to train them in the use of social accountability tools, including community scorecard, citizen report card, and public expenditure tracking. Executive Secretary of the Mental Health Society of Ghana, Humphrey Kofi, said persons with disabilities complained that unverified names often appear on disbursement lists, despite their representatives serving on oversight committees. He called on district assemblies to reconcile all payout against the official local disability album, a registered database of persons with disabilities, and regularly publish statements showing available balances and quarter-by-quarter disbursement.
Of the people
Persons with disabilities always believe that the disbursement of funds is not transparent. What they want is regular publication of beneficiaries. Key pro-poor initiatives targeted for community monitoring include the disability portion of the District Assembly's Common Fund, the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty LEAP program, and Free National Health Insurance Scheme NHIS registration for indigent. The monitoring will also cover inclusive education and compliance with physical accessibility standards to ensure persons with disabilities have equal access to public services. He highlighted that workshop participants will return to their respective district to independently monitor local social welfare offices, health insurance unit, and district assemblies to demand fair and transparent governance. Addressing the transparency concerns, the Metro Director for Social Welfare and Community Development at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Esther Prekunyako, pledged that her office would adopt full disclosure and step up grassroots engagement.
Sensitization and especially to the assembly members.
We are going to make sure that the assembly really make good use of the fund. We will be on them for proper disbursement so that we will benefit from it. Participants lauded the training workshop, noting that it equips them to hold government agencies accountable and ensure transparency in the distribution of state-allocated funds. The training was organized by the Mental Health Society of Ghana in partnership with the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, the Africa Disability Institute, and supported by the European Union.
Former Chairman of Parliament's Select Committee on Mines and Energy, Amadou Bukari Sorgo, has strongly denied receiving any money in connection with the AXA Power agreement. His denial follows allegations surrounding payments allegedly made to members of Parliament involved in the consideration of the deal. He spoke on the key points earlier today.
That bag, whether he is green, whether he is black, whether he is tall, I don't know him. I've never met him. I can vouch that as the chairman, there was nothing. I never received any money. And some of them, if you read the report, that the money was paid after ratification. Some say the money was paid before ratification. I was waiting to get the full complement of the judgment because I can't take it anymore. I have built a reputation and I'm prepared to defend it. I have not taken a peso from anybody to do any shoddy work. I did my work as a Ghanaian, as the chairman of the committee. I gathered it and we all came together. If at the end of the day there is a problem, why are you people not also thinking that it's possible that that bank could have used our names to go and collect whatever money he wants to collect?
In more news tonight, 3 households are counting their losses after a fire swept through a residential building at Labadi Wireless in Accra, destroying virtually all their belongings. The blaze, which broke out at about 1:25 p.m., is suspected to have been linked to electrical faults associated with the building's aging wiring system.
Labadi Wireless, where
what began as an ordinary afternoon at Labadi Wireless quickly turned into a desperate race to save lives and property. The fire tore through the building, leaving 3 households counting their cost after losing most of their belongings. Preliminary assessment at the scene pointed to the building's old and outdated electrical wiring as a possible factor in the outbreak. The affected residents say the incident has been a painful lesson, but admit the damage has already been done.
In their research, we found out that this house has been built for years, and the wires are old wires. Since people have been using more equipment, more gadgets, that takes more loads. According to that could also cause a fire outbreak. So now we have learned from it. The harm has already occurred, but we just hope that we'll gather 1 or 2 stars and then we plan to re-establish the place again.
For the victims, years of investment and personal belongings have been reduced to ashes. They are now appealing to the government, institutions and benevolent individuals to come to their aid as they begin the difficult task of rebuilding their lives.
We are all worried and devastated. We've had corrections advised, given to us by the officials who came to tackle the fire. For now, what we are pleading for government to do, for us to really also correct our mistake, is to come to our aid and support us however way they can.
No casualties were reported.
You're watching News 360. We're back with more stories after this break. Please stay with us.
From deep
In entertainment tonight, the family of the late Juliana Bubune Tetiati Chikata, first runner-up of Ghana's Most Beautiful in 2013, say her death has left a deep void that will be difficult to fill. Bubune, as she was affectionately known, died earlier this week. Former GMB queens who knew her in 2013 remember Bubune as a humble, caring and supportive person whose kindness touched many lives. Osorai reports.
Bubune represented the Volta region at Ghana's Most Beautiful in 2013. The native of Sokpe finished the competition as first runner-up and became a favorite among many Ghanaians.
Oh, me earlier mama minim hopper. We dey costly too. Bisa obi ase obi antimeli. Who antimeli? Kache se mia na me sopa.
For her fellow contestants, Bubune was more than just a competitor.
Very hard-working, determined. When she sets her eyes on something, I'm sure if she doesn't get it, she won't stop. She's that kind of person. She was so selfless. She will always give you her all to make you okay, maybe to her disadvantage.
This really hits us very hard, Bubu. I wish I could wake up from this dream. This is heartbreaking, Bubu.
They remember her as a caring and supportive friend who made their GMB journey special.
You can't meet Bubu and not have a positive impact or something good to say about her. In whichever way, you are going to feel her presence and her friendship, her leadership, whatever role that she's playing in your life, you are going to be impacted very well. So to the whole community, especially her family, her husband, her children, I'm praying that God gives them the strength to go through.
Bubune returned to Ghana's Most Beautiful in 2017, this time as a chaperone. She guided and supported a new group of contestants, including Adom, who remembers her as a big sister and mentor. Away from GMB, Bubune was a wife, mother, businesswoman and friend. Her family says she was a dependable person who always cares for those around her.
But Bubune is a star to the girls in our family and our town and as a whole. Even right now, if you go to my town, most people bring forth girls. They call them Bubune, Bubune, Bubune because her performance made everybody great that let my child also come there. So she is a star that we portray. But the vacuum she has left now, I don't know. It's a blow.
Bright Chikata is Bubune's brother-in-law.
Between her ability to bring people together, loving people, and worshiping God, I'll go for the latter. Bubu was a type that really loved God. She worshipped God. And I think it's something we all must learn. Without God, we are nobody. She had that thing for God. And that is something I believe I'll always remember Bubu for.
He also had strong ties with the National Theatre and the performing arts community. Her trainers and colleagues remember her for the hard work, discipline, humility and warm personality. For her family, Bubune's death has left a deep void. They remember her not only as a former beauty queen, but as a loving mother, wife, sister, and woman of virtue.
The soul of Bubune rests in perfect peace. Let's now bring you some international news.
UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham has described the death of former Cambridge professor Jason Addy as a tragedy on so many levels as he called for a moment for reflection. Addy was found dead at an address in Battersea, South London on Friday afternoon. It's not a moment for any rushing to judgment. It's a moment for reflection. I would say reflecting on how things came to this, the Prime Minister told broadcasters during a visit to Cornwall. In a statement issued by his publisher, Simon & Schuster UK, Ade's family said they were in shock to have lost this amazing father, partner, brother, uncle, and son. They said a campaign of misinformation had been too much for him.
Thank you so much for joining us on News 360. But that's where we draw the curtains. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. I am Noble Crosby.
And I'm Grace Hamwajuman. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.